This culture is not about looking up to God. This culture is seeing how you want to become and live as a divinity. People raised to a level where they refer to as Bhagwan. That is the idea. Not always looking up to Bhagwan. You look up because you want to go up. You want to raise this piece of life to that dimension of existence where there is no distinction between who you are and what you refer to as divinity. So, the very nature of the culture is a scientific process. Unfortunately, we have not taken care of this science for the last 600, 700 years properly. It has become… it is not time relevant, the way it is expressed. The science is still time relevant, but the expression is not time relevant because there has been a gap of a few generations. They did not… if it was every generation, if it was being transmitted live, it would have been time relevant. But because of oppression, because of conquerors who came in and it went underground, lot of things which went underground never came up. Many people who went underground never came out again. They got buried right there. The reason why you see so much of a certain form of yogic practice in the name of Tibetan Buddhism today is because when invasions happened, the invaders mainly took the plains. The first thing that they did was burn the spiritual places. So they all went into the mountains. When they found the mountains too harsh for them to live, they crossed over and settled on the plateau, which you call as Tibet today. You just look at Tibetan Buddhism, where is Buddha in it? You have to search for Buddha. You will find all kinds of gods and goddesses with mispronounced names which are from here, full of ritual which came from this land, full of practices which came from this land, because this was established by people who left the plains and went into the mountains just to avoid the conquerors scorching them out. So it is very significant that we preserve this as a live thing. When I say preserve, it need not be protected, it needs to be lived. If you protect it, it will become archival. You have to live it. That's what we are trying to display to you. In the form of decor, in the form of food, in the way we do things here, we are trying to make the science of living as spiritual beings. Spirituality is not a teaching, it's the way you exist. For you to exist that way, you need to create the necessary ambience. Simple thing. I've been telling people right now, thousands of meditators have taken it up in Tamil Nadu. I want all of you to take this up. When you pick up the phone, what do you say? Hello? If you're speaking in English language, you say hello. If you're speaking in some other language, why don't you say namaste, namaskaram, something? What's your problem? Because when you say namaskar, it's a very profound statement. Hello doesn't have that, but you say it because somebody has taught you. I mean, we brought this, see, till the English got established. They came in almost 300 years ago, but they got established only in the last 150, leaving the 65 years, 150 years before independence. About 100 years ago, when were your holidays in a month? Do you know? In this country, the holidays were always 3 days, 1 day before Paurnami, 1 day after Paurnami and Paurnami. Amavasya days, Shivaratri days, Ekadashi days, these were the holidays because it was spiritually relevant for us to do sadhana on those days. Now what are you doing on a Sunday? You don't know what the hell to do on a Sunday, so you're watching the television and eating potato chips throughout the day? I'm saying the whole culture was designed to assist your spiritual sadhana. But we don't have the courage to go back to that in the world outside, at least in your homes. You do that. At least in your homes, you do that. If you're running a business, you can do it. Every employee of yours will be very happy that they have a holiday when others don't have it. Yes, and instead of getting 4 days in a month, they get 3 days in a stretch on the Purnami day, they will be happy, I'm telling you. If it's your own little business, you can do it, isn't it? Yes or no? If you have business which has to sync with the outside world, every day there's transaction, you can't do it. But in your home you can do it, isn't it? To whatever extent you can. At least you can say namaste to people. You know what this means? If you go into the temple, this is what you do. If God appears in front of you live, what will you do? This is what you will do. If this man or woman comes in front of you, what do you do? This is what you will do. If you see a beautiful mountain, what do you do? This is what you do. If you see a tree, what do you do? This is what you do. If you see a cow, what do you do? This is what you do. Not just that, even if you see inanimate objects, this is what you do. If Shiva appears also, this is what we do. If a laborer here, whose name may be Shiva or whatever else, to him also this is what we do. If a very knowledgeable person comes, this is what we do. If an idiot comes, this is what we do. What this means is, it doesn't matter who he is. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you're a man, woman or a rock, it doesn't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, every moment of my life, I want to recognize that in every piece of creation, the hand of Creator is active. To that hand I bow down, bow down, bow down. Now you are setting up an ambience for your evolution. You are setting up an ambience for your evolution. Without the necessary ambience, you sit down in the morning and shake like this, you will not move very quickly, it'll take a long time. You need to set up the ambience. Even if I give you a super seed which can produce a tremendous kind of crop for you, if you keep it on the rock, it's not going to grow, isn't it? You have to prepare the soil. The necessary ambience for growth has to be there, otherwise it's not going to happen. So creating that necessary ambience for spiritual growth of a human being is what you see as culture here. It is distorted in many ways, but still the fundamental thread is not gone. If we lose the thread, there will be nothing of worth in this country. There'll be nothing of worth in this country if you lose that one spiritual thread, because that is the greatest thing we can offer to the world. The other parts of the world have done other kinds of achievements. In physical sciences, in technology, they've reached to many places. This can be the greatest fabulous exchange of people and knowledge base. We have the knowledge of the internal, they have done well with the external. Isn't this a perfect formula for everybody to live well in the world? Isn't it a perfect formula? The two sets of people have two different dimensions of knowledge. If both of us see that we have need for each other, isn't this a perfect situation to live well? But people may choose to fight instead of living well. That is because if we do not create the necessary ambience for spiritual growth in the world, you teach as many damn practices as you want, you build as many damn temples as you want, people will not go very far. You have to create ambience of life where every moment there is a reminder, there is a reminder, there is a reminder.